David and his wife Ellie lived a blissful life after marriage. Following the death of her husband, Eli's mother, Vivian, moved in to live with them. Though she was over 50, Vivian had aged gracefully, poised, elegant, and radiating the charm of a mature woman with every gesture. At first, David treated his mother-in-law with the utmost respect, and their daily interactions were harmonious. But over time, Vivian's subtle actions began to stir uneasy feelings within him. On summer nights, she would often wander through the living room in sheer nightwear. When speaking to David, she stood unusually close, her gaze occasionally betraying a hint of something more than familial warmth. One evening, after a family gathering, when everyone else had gone to bed, Vivian gently knocked on David's door. She poured out her loneliness from years of widowhood. Her words laced with veiled suggestions. David's moral defenses wavered, but at the very last moment, his reason triumphed over impulse. In a panic, he rejected her and fled the room. From that night on, David deliberately kept his distance from Vivian, and she too seemed to become more reserved. On the surface, peace returned to the household. But the calm didn't last. One day, Ellie stumbled upon a series of ambiguous messages between David and Vivian. Enraged, she confronted David, who was at a complete loss for words. The foundation of their relationship crumbled, and their marriage stood on the brink of collapse. Just as David was on the verge of losing everything, a shocking truth came to light. It turned out that the entire ordeal had been a carefully orchestrated test by Vivian, betrayed in her youth by her unfaithful husband. Vivian had since lived in fear of her daughter suffering the same fate. Wanting to be sure of David's loyalty, she devised a plan to test him. Having seen David uphold his moral boundaries when it mattered most, Vivian was finally at ease. She came clean to Ellie, confessing everything. Ellie was both shocked and angry, but after understanding her mother's well-intentioned motives, she ultimately chose to forgive. This tangled web of ethics and emotion ended with an unexpected twist. The ordeal not only strengthened the bond between David and Ellie, but also lifted the long-held darkness in Vivian's heart. After weathering the storm, the family emerged with a deeper understanding and newfound harmony.